Hi everybody, it's me, Lisa T, coming at you with some positive energy. Lighten up your life with Lisa. Okay, so someone commented on my last video and said, you got anything for plantar fasciitis? So I always like to explain these big terms to clients. That they'll come in and they say, oh, I have carpal tunnel syndrome, or I have thoracic syndrome, or I have plantar fasciitis. Well, yes, we've come up with these names in the medical system. Not we, they have come up with these names. I wasn't part of it. If I was part of it, I would call it what it is, which is, so they've come up with these names in the medical system to name things so that everybody's on the same page, you know. But if you break it down, which I learned in school, when we break everything down so that I can understand all medical terminology. So carpal tunnel syndrome just means the tunnel where tendons of your arm, where they run through the wrist, that tunnel has inflammation in it. So it's, you know, these are issues that we have that can be solved with the proper care. So but you got to break it down, and they can't blah, 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 blah. I had too much coffee today. We can't label ourselves. We can't, you know, we can't say, oh, I have that. And if we have that, if we say that without knowing what it is, what it breaks down to, then we, you know, we jail ourselves into a condition and say, oh yeah, I suffer with this condition. And if we break it down, then we can see the way to the solution. So plantar fasciitis was what someone commented they want me to talk about. So plantar part of the foot, dorsal part of the foot. So plantar, it's just saying the bottom of your foot, okay? Fasciitis, fascia. Everywhere we have fascia. It's like if you peel the layer of, or if you peel an onion, there's that layer that you can peel off, or if you do a hard-boiled egg, you know, there's the shell, and then you get to the egg, but when you're peeling that shell off, there's that like clear, filmy kind of stuff. So that's fascia. Fascia holds stuff together. So we have our muscles in groups. So we have, like, you know, in the quads, there's 4 muscles in the quad, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way that quad holds its shape is the fascia. So the fascia will hold muscle fibers of one muscle together, and then that muscle together, and then that muscle with the other muscles, and that muscle. So it goes out in layers, like layers of an onion. Fascia. We have it everywhere, our whole system, and it's actually how stuff travels through the system, because the fascia is everywhere. So it helps the electromagnetic currents go through the body. So when we, you know, our nerves and all of that kind of stuff. So fascia. It's so plantar, bottom of your foot, fascia, the fascia, itis. Anytime that says itis, that just means inflammation. So there's inflammation in the fascia in the bottom of your foot. Doesn't that sound a little bit more manageable? Okay, so now that we got that part covered, so what do we want to do with inflammation? Inflammation, we want to ice. We want to get the inflammation out. So when a lot of people put heat on their bodies, the only time heat is good, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and with my experience with myself and with my clients for over almost 7 years, the only time we want to use heat is right after a massage. I'll put heat on someone, because the muscle tissue is all opened up, everything is opened up, and so when we add heat, things expand, right? When we add ice, or when we put ice, when we use ice, things contract. Heat makes things expand, cold makes things contract, right? Easy. So we don't want to expand something like fluid in something if there's nowhere for it to go. So when we have injury, when we have pain, if it's not chronic, if it hasn't been there our whole lives, then we don't want to use heat, because we're intensifying an area that the body is already sending to. It's sending inflammation stuff. It's sending blood. It's trying to drain stuff. It's sending in healing cells and everything like that. So the body is sending stuff to that area. So we do not want to heat it, although heat feels good, because heat is soothing. So heat firstly addresses our sensory nerves, because that's the one on the very outside. So it's like, it feels good, but it's doing no good internally. So we want to ice. So itis, inflammation, plantar fascia itis, right? Inflammation in the bottom of the foot. So ice. So the very first thing we want to do is cool that puppy down. And so you're going to take a bottle of water with a little bit of rim in it, because we are going to freeze it. And when we freeze it, we are going to use this as a tool. So I should have a little bit more water in there, just a little bit more. So when we, so with the bottom of the foot, this is going to be used as a massager and a cooler. So you're going to put the ice in there, and then you're going to use this on a nightly basis, and you're going to rub the coolness, and you're going to also massage the bottom of the feet with the bottle once this is frozen. I just have water in there just to show you. So this is a frozen. Pretend this is frozen right now. So you're gonna sit on your couch. You're gonna have one on each side or one on the affected foot, and you're just gonna massage. And you're at first it's gonna feel like, eek, I don't like that cold, but you will get used to it. And we want to sustain that for, like, have your foot on the cold for a good, I want to say 30 minutes, but like 20 minutes, okay? And you're rolling, so you're not keeping it in one sustained spot. So it's a rolling motion. You don't want to just hold a piece of ice on one spot for 20 minutes. You want to move it around that whole area. So with the rocking back and forth, a good 20 minutes. Let's be on the safe side, 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. Because you have to, for me, I could do it for 20 because I know when to take it off and on and give it a little break and whatever like that. So let's say 10 minutes, just constant with it rolling back and forth and back and forth. And you're gonna get tired rolling back and forth after 10 minutes anyway. So rolling that back and forth, okay? So what that's gonna do is it's going to, because it's a prolonged period of time with the ice on there, we're gonna create retrostasis, which means that when the area is pumping, so your body is pumping stuff to that area. So that's why it's inflamed, because your body's sending blood. It's with all the healing cells that it wants in there, and that's a whole other video to talk all about that. But so the healing stuff, it's sending healing stuff there. It's sending blood there, so that and it's constraining the area because it's injured. So oh, sorry, someone's calling. So it's sending stuff to that area. So when we are putting ice on there for a sustained period of time, it's going to cool it. So now we're going to activate your body's heating system, because when we're cold, the body says, oh my God, send. So it's going to send blood there to heat the area up. So it's going to start sending blood there to heat the area up. But the ice is also constricting all those vessels that have been sending stuff there. So it's pushing at the same time, it's constricting at the same time as blood is being pushed in. So we're getting so we're going to be pushing, we're going to be like mechanically pumping the extra fluid out, okay? So we're getting rid of the inflammation, the itis part of that while we're doing the ice. The next thing you can do on another moment, maybe before, maybe after, okay, so after you've iced, then you want to wait until your foot is really back to room temperature, which is probably about 10 minutes, okay? So 10 minutes, 15 minutes even, till it's really back to room temperature. And you want to then self-massage. So it's gonna feel painful, but it's just your body. You got to get a new relationship with the pain, okay? It's painful, but it's your thumb on your skin. You're not cutting yourself. You're not, burning yourself. There's not a knife there. It is a little bit painful, but lean into that pain. It shouldn't be like, ow, 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 ow. And if you go slow, if you, like at first, how can I show you this? At first, if you're going to push like this far, okay? Pretend the layer of the foot is there. So you're going to push this far. And it's like, ooh, that's tender. So just stay with your thumb. Just stay in that. Like, just what you're doing is breaking that fascia that's gotten tight because it's been inflamed, and fascia's all in a matrix too. It's all like this. So it's been inflamed because fluid has been pushed in there. So we want to then like start moving it, start getting it like mobile. So you're going to self-massage. And after this layer stops being, because if you just stay there and stay with that like, ow, ooh, as long as it doesn't make you go, where you're like pushing out, okay? So a little bit of pain is okay. And it should be a effective, like, oh, that feels good. And once you get that, then you can start applying more pressure. So stay there for a good like 30 seconds at the next level, and then a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper after you adjust to that threshold of tolerance for that feeling of pain, okay? So you're just gonna get in there and move it around. And you want to be like kind of feel like you're stretching the skin. We're pulling, with you can use two thumbs too. So pretend that's my thumb. So like this way. So they're pulling apart. So I'm using my thumbs like this, and you're pulling it apart. Okay? So take care of yourself. Self-care, and don't get scared by these big words. They're just big words. they mean something in simpler terms. So I hope that was helpful. Please comment. Give me a like, give me a heart. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe for more. Give me a thumbs up. If you're watching it on TikTok, give me a heart, subscribe to my channel. And yeah, again, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Okay, thanks for watching.